A leader's micromanaging. The 5 keys to stop micromanaging and start macro leading. Now, I don't know if you've been there, but I've had the pain of being micromanaged. Actually having a boss stand over your shoulder and evaluate every step that you've made or every decision that you made in meetings and post-meeting. Both of my sons both played basketball. And this past weekend, I had an opportunity to see micromanaging at its worst. My son, depending on when you're watching this, is 14 years old. So the crowd is going wild. You have the basketball tournaments that you may be taking your kids to. The coach is yelling and screaming from the sideline with advice and plays. But also every dad in the stands is yelling at their kid, actually making eye contact and telling them what to do as well. My thought in that moment was, that poor kid. Who the heck do I listen to? The plethora of information and advice is everywhere. The disappointment and frustration when I don't do what this person has said and this person has said. How can this person be expected to play their best game? And the same is true for you when you're micro-led. The same is true for your employees if you are the one doing the micromanaging. So, what are the 5 keys? The first is a leader's selection. The next is a leader's coaching. The third is a leader's white-knuckle. The fourth is a leader's connection. And then lastly, the leader's 3. So let's rewind and go back to a leader's selection. Now that means that we are willing to hire, train, or outsource great talent. Now, when we talk about selecting and hiring and bringing people into the organization, please know that every great person may not always be a great fit. Therefore, who are you looking for? What type of person are you looking for? What type of skill set are you looking for? What type of characteristics for a culture fit are you looking for? We also want to bring people in that we don't always have to motivate. I get to speak to organizations worldwide, and sometimes the question is about bringing in motivating your team. And I see be very careful about having to motivate your people or your team. I played sports for a long time, and that rah-rah speech that you see in movies, it rarely happens. It may happen once or twice a career at that epic level. If you have to spend all your time motivating your people, you do not have the right people or team or vision set. So you want to bring in already motivated people to your team, to your organization, to your vision. And your job, our job as leaders, is to properly lead them towards success. So 1, we want to hire great people. And are we bringing in people that are allowed to challenge our status quo? I know the world is big on diversity, and I promote it as well. However, we really want to promote diversity of thought, so we're not always stuck doing it the same old way. So bring in people that are already motivated, that are willing to challenge our status quo, and your leadership will allow it to happen. Next, with the leader selection, we want to be able to train, because as a leader, you are also a great mentor and a coach. Have you brought someone in that already knows what to do? And if so, great. However, when you know that they don't know everything, what training processes do you have? Will you do the training? Will you send them to great training? Will you allow them to train you if they know more because they're an expert? So what type of training program do you have set up for your leaders and new hires? Lastly is outsourcing. So whether you have a business, are already in an established organization, or starting your own, maybe employees are great to have. However, there are certain projects and certain tasks that may make sense to concierge out and outsource great experts and professionals in that realm, allowing your team and people to focus on what's really important or what they do great. Perhaps you're starting your own business and you had to do everything at first, because we all do at some point. However, as you've evolved, as you've grown, you have to get out of the business and stop doing the business so you can start leading and evolving the business. So you outsource great people, and that still will evolve some level of training so they can do it your way and within your vision. So guys, that's key one, a leader selection. Be mindful of your hire. Allow them to train you and you train them, and then outsource accordingly.